an illness. Not sure how infectious it is. So try to stay away from the domicile for now. I did do a COVID test though, and I am negative. So I am going to come tomorrow and infect everybody, most likely. As long as it's not COVID, dude.
Thank you, dude. All right. We are live now in Decentraland and YouTube. Welcome back. You got Will and Iron Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, and Rovi. And as you can see, I got some upgrades behind me. That's a big upgrade. What do you think, Iron Man?
It's actually a big deal, dude. Like, there's
life back here.
Brightened up my day, that's for sure.
All right. We got some updates to share for you guys today. Of course, we got the good old delicious Pope. And I guess we've received some feedback on the Pope, other than like it's badass, but it should be given towards a random point in the call. What do you think about that?
We've been doing that.
Well, technically, we've been giving it about 30 minutes into the call, but it should be random.
Ideally, it's random, but I guess we've randomly chosen the same time for a while now, so
yeah,
it's no longer random. So, why should we do this? Just I
don't know, just to throw off the Pope.
Oh, we're still combating the cartel.
The Pope cartel, yeah.
Wow, dude. Yeah. Dude, these cartels, man, they're persistent.
Yeah,
where y'all at, dude? Are y'all here?
Yeah, say hello, cartel.
Yeah, give us a good wave, Pope cartel. It's okay that you guys are here. You're making us better and stronger. We're coming up with different ways to
combat the cartel.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go. TJ. So we got to throw up some Heisenberg in here. All right. Okay. So let's get this thing started. All right, man. We got some stuff to share. This call has been brought to you by Live the Future. We have a pretty nice looking meta here that we're going to be giving away. And so this is a creator that we've written about, right? Recently. Is that correct?
Just like we do all of our spotlight creators. So yeah, we published an article. Shout out Live the Futures. Already submitted a few metas, so it's definitely a verse in the making, without a doubt. And it's a question we ask all our creators: what are your plans to expand your verse? The good news is all of them have an answer to that question.
Yeah, right.
It's never like I have no plans to continue. That would suck. I'd be very, very bummed if that was the answer. But yeah, the good news is all of our creators are aware. We're all in this collective journey that's at a very early stage, and establishing a verse presence for yourself is a big deal, especially when you're this early, right?
Yeah.
So
I totally agree. So we have, I guess everybody's in agreement that we're in the middle of, at the start of a bear cycle. So we have, history has shown us we have about 18 months or so of bearness. And through that 18 months, we're going to see a bunch of new startups, new companies, all kinds of stuff, especially in the metaverse. And so basically, this is 18 months of building before and getting ready for the next bull cycle. So, we actually did a video on 28 principles for Web3 startups. And, one of them had something to do with planning for the future in terms of bear and bull cycles. So it is a strategy a lot of projects consider during the bear, and so we're gonna be dropping that video, I think, tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah.
And speaking of videos, we dropped one today that I think you guys should watch. I don't know, Iman, if you got to see all the edits that were done, but it was well done. Thank you, Javier, for putting that together. But yes, I spent several hours during the weekend kind of skimming through all our old videos and finding that snippet where I basically say that Decentraland needs to focus on the SDK and not the builder. And turns out I said that roughly 30 months ago. So over 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, this has always been a strong tenet of your character, I guess, or whatever presence it is you're bringing to the metaverse. Well, I guess specifically Decentraland, because this is a Decentraland specific dilemma at the moment. Well, it's a metaverse wide dilemma, but right now it's Decentraland because they're the ones furthest ahead as far as like actually executing on anything of tangible value from like a developer standpoint. Anyways, independent of all that, ever since the very beginning, as we started to traverse through Decentraland, right? Like we were seeing the first iterations of content being deployed, from people's land. It became pretty clear, right? It's like, damn, dude, some of this stuff is really freaking boring, and some of it is not, right?
Yeah.
And then you've figured out exactly what made things boring and what didn't. What's going to make me come back to this coordinate and what isn't. So
yeah,
I think the distinguishing factor was builder content versus SDK developed content, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and in addition to what you're saying is just because you build something with the SDK doesn't mean you're done. Like people are just going to come to that location or that creation. There has to be more to it than that. But you can at least have a chance to create something constructive, something engaging with the SDK. You have zero chance with the builder.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
So that
was very controversial to say. Like we talked to Fede Molina, who was the marketing lead over in Decentraland, to kind of like give us his opinion on this, very controversial subject of 2020.
Yeah,
and we got a lot of flack. I think we got a lot of support from the community, but we got a lot of flack, I think, from like the Decentraland Foundation, just because I guess from their perspective it felt like an attack, but it wasn't. It's the whole point of communication, right? And like, we got to put these things out into the open and discuss them. Like, what is the best thing for the future of, Decentraland? So we had our thoughts and opinions and they had theirs. So we were definitely not aligned, right? And here we are several years later.
Yeah.
And here you go, dude. Hence thumbnail, dude. Give us that pose right there. The I am right pose.
We took several pictures to get to that pose, but yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, we did. I mean, I guess dude. any photo shoot, you're gonna have like hundreds of pictures or thousands, but yeah. We spoke to Fede. He was cool, and yeah, you're right. We did receive some semblance of flack. I mean, even when we were speaking with the boys, the DCL core, their take was that DCL is still early, and like there's still a lot to be developed, blah blah blah. But nonetheless, Decentraland made a announcement, I guess, that they're going to be focusing on the SDK. And then, most importantly, they're going to be adding, like, code elements to the builder, where, I don't know if you guys been exposed to some website builders where you can kind of build a website relatively easily, right, without coding. And then that function allows you to extract the code from your build of that website. And then you could take that to a developer and they can edit it out, right? Edit everything from that, what you built. And so I think that's what Decentraland is going to be doing. So you can build something with the builder, and that scene can be extracted via code, and then you can edit that code to make it do stuff with the SDK. So that's one thing that they're going to be adding, which I think is great. That's how it should have been done several years ago. But in that announcement they made, they disclose that the team that originally built Decentraland was not a team that made games in the past. They were like developers, but they were not game developers. So that was one issue that kind of contributed to all this. But nonetheless, it's a good video. You guys should watch it. I thought it was interesting, kind of going back to all our old videos. There are some gems in there, man. We made some calls that we haven't I guess packaged up in a way where people can digest all that.
We made some calls. Can you recall some of these calls?
Well, there's quite a few of them, but it was mainly more about like DeFi. Like part of our conversations, like in the middle of like talking about the metaverse, we spoke about DeFi, and we predicted this explosion, this collapse, all kinds of stuff. I mean, I think it's worth going back.
It's good to know, dude.
Yeah, it's worth going back and like packaging up in videos where we kind of do flashbacks and all that. So, all right,
that's good to revisit old content just to know we're not like, talking nonsense over here.
Neb is
It's good
saying,
that damn it, if only we could like like you said, package these calls or these moments and like NFT them so we
yeah,
don't lose track of them.
yeah,
Let's do it, dude. Podcast NFTs, dude. Might as well, dude. If we're going through all the work of like, going back in content time and like snippeting all this
yeah,
stuff together, why
yeah,
not like slap a nice little, on-chain identity to it?
yeah. Neb is saying you called Matic as scalability Jesus.
We did?
Yeah.
That sounds like something I would say.
So yeah,
Was I not right, dude? I mean,
you were right. You were right. It's pretty crazy. And I mean, it's one of those
yeah.
it's one of those skills where I mean, it doesn't really, it's not nothing special. It's more about like understanding the problems and like being able to predict solutions to them, and then finding projects that are solving them, and then that's it. Like, and you make a call. But anyway, so yeah, we have Live the Future. We if you go to our drop section on MetaZone, yeah, as you can see, there's only the one. And the reason is because we're making an update to all of this here pretty soon, and we have a ton of submissions recently that we're kind of sifting through and going to be uploading to imminent drops here. So that's why there isn't that many. But it allows us to focus on Live the Future. They wanted us to mention something. I think it was that they're looking for team members. They're looking for people to help them contribute to like making content and basically kind of reach out to Live the Future. Hopefully they are in the chat here if they can send a message. But yeah, they're looking for some team members and basically builders, developers, all kinds of stuff, because they're wanting to, I guess, make cooler stuff and yeah. Oh, they weren't able to join because of time zone issues. Yeah, I can imagine. I wonder where they're located.
Yeah, they did make an interesting suggestion, which, during the interview of, how we can better improve not just the drop section, but the verse pages section for all creators, just that, help them on their endeavors, right? And yeah, we're aware of all the whole damn application, the website, everything needs to be revamped, right? And
yeah,
with the ultimate goal in mind of just supporting our creators. So making things more intuitive, making things more functional, everything, incorporating more features. It's already happening on the Versus page with like the new docs ability. So if you're creating a complex verse, Rovi's a good example of that. It's so complex that it's worthy of a docs section, and that needs to be an enabled feature for any creator who's, looking to establish something in the metaverse, right? So, yeah, we haven't really untapped like the spectrum of like verses yet, like, how simple and how complex they can become.
Yeah.
But yeah, once Rovi's executes and it's like a full maturity stage, I think we'll have that clear spectrum figured out. And then from there, we could develop all these features that support, the different tiers of verse creators all within the spectrum.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so in addition to the meta drop today, one of them are going to be given away to a listener. So definitely hang out for that. That's going to happen towards the end. Of course, we have Popes. And I guess one of the things that I wanted to talk about was sort of like the stuff that's being developed for the metaverse. I wanted to get everybody's opinion on the drops page. Not the drops page, but the verse page. If we show the verse page, there's going to be a capability for, and let me just visit Rovi's here. There's going to be a capability for a creator to send an email to basically anyone who signs up or purchases one of these items to be notified of the next drop or notified of an update or basically any notification that the creator wants to let the owners know. So we're thinking about making this available as a function for all verses. And yeah, what do you think about that? I mean, do you think this is a functionality that we should enable for everyone, or is this like something specific, a specific use case?
Oof. It's definitely something you should opt in and out of, I guess, as a Verse member. Probably across the board, because just because like whole email thing, email notification of things, and that's like very Web 2, right? Not necessarily heavily utilized in the Web 3 space these days, because most protocols don't even ask for a user's email, right?
Yeah. Right.
So, but that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean like, oh, it has to be that way. That's just how it is, right? Like
Right.
email is still a very important component to a user's identity, but that's why you have the option to contribute that information to the protocol or not. And if you do, yeah, you're going to get access to the latest news, information, drops, all that stuff. Right. And
Yeah.
it's up to the Verse creator to determine how to leverage these, user details. So I'm all for it. I'm all for any like added, functionality, features, whatever for our creators, because we want them to have, like as rich as an experience as possible. It's something, you can't go anywhere else to get this kind of a community connection with the people who are, purchasing your content.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I do think it's important as well. Yeah, and extending that functionality is something that we think is going to be important for the future, just because, once we're able to expand this idea of like, one thing I was mentioning earlier in one of my conversations today was the idea of businesses as NFTs. Well, you're going to want to talk to your franchise owners and start collaborating with them and coordinating some announcements potentially, or coordinating, some sort of event that you can have in the metaverse. And once we start getting into multiple metaverses, that's going to be critical to be able to communicate with your franchise owners in like an easy way. So
Yeah,
I totally agree. I think that's something that needs to happen, and
yeah,
hopefully, our creator base can start taking advantage and start leveraging that functionality too.
yeah. Now that we're starting to see like so much competition starting to emerge, like in the 3D NFT marketplace sector,
Yeah.
like OpenSea is kind of like starting to make, different little features, kind of, support that incoming sector or that incoming demand. We're seeing projects like, Monaverse, Metamundo, there's more and more out there.
Yeah.
We're not alone, basically. And so it's going to be very important to, I guess, understand like this, the distinguishing aspects of each different, marketplace, right? Because we have these talks like during the NFT, pre-NFT boom, right? We started to see all the different 2D NFT art marketplaces emerge. We saw Maker's Place. We saw Super Rare. We saw, of course, OpenSea.
Yeah.
We saw Multiple. All these different marketplaces, right? They're largely selling and distributing the same type of content. But what is it that separated all the different platforms, right? So that's definitely what we need to focus on, like, because like you're saying, our content isn't just static GOBs, right? Like it's a live ecosystem, and with that comes features that no other platform needs to have.
Exactly.
So
yeah, man.
So yeah, you're gonna see MetaZone. It's gonna be completely different than every other 3D NFT marketplace for sure, because like we have an actual living ecosystem with like many different parties involved in support of the content that's being distributed. So it's going to be interesting, man, for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree. And especially a lot of the stuff that we have on our stores, like stuff that you would interact with, you potentially make money from, right? And we're emulating reality, right? IRL. People purchase land. At the beginning, it was purchasing land to be able to speculate on it. And then once people start maturing, it's like, well, I can speculate, or I can actually either create something or purchase something, deploy on my land that could generate some revenue. And I think by the time the next bull run happens, I think that's where the maturity is going to head towards. I'm looking at someone that, hold on, they got a cool little hat going on here. See, that's our Corona Zombies wearable with something on his head. It looked like some sort of alien spaceship hat thing.
It definitely matches. I wish we made that.
Yeah, right? So speaking of making that, that's pretty cool. We're going to be coming out with more wearables, specifically for Rovies, but we're thinking about different ones for MetaZone as well. But yeah, that's going to be kind of another initiative that we have going on. And then on Thursday, I don't know if you guys missed it, but on Thursday we dropped this gate here, and so I think the dominant name that people agreed they enjoyed was Glitch Bridge. Is that right? I think that's the one it was.
That was one of them.
Yeah.
There's a couple others too that I thought sounded pretty sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another thing. So like definitely join us on Thursdays to discuss Rovies, because a lot is happening, a lot of moving parts on that project, and whenever that project adds parts, it adds functions to MetaZone. So that's, if you want like the latest news on like the functionality, that's the one to join. So Dahlia is recommending that we do a poll on the name. Yeah, I think we could do that. I think for next call on Thursdays at 10 p.m. UTC, we should do a poll on the name of this portal, this glitch portal, and then we can kind of settle that.
Through what medium though? I remember we done Twitter polls in the past, and they got. I don't think this is gonna like. There's no financial stake involved. Yeah, we've done polls in the past where winners and losers had financial biases. So yeah, it was not genuine results.
Yeah.
So we know for a fact Twitter's no good for polls. So
I think if there's money involved, Twitter's bad for polls. But I think for something like this, sort of innocuous, I think we can use either Twitter or probably best to settle this on Discord.
Yeah, I would like to do a Discord poll if doable, if possible.
Yeah, I think we can do that actually.
All right, right on, dude. All right, let's do it. So we got some Thursday events going down already. Yeah, so definitely join us on Thursday if you're interested in the Roviverse.
Yeah, and another thing we need to do, we need to look into the Metaverse Standards Forum, and we need to create like a weekly segment of that content, just because there's a lot going on over there. I think we're still in the mode of like introductions, because there's so many time zones that need to see like the intros. So they have meetings kind of like on a bi-weekly basis where they basically go over like the initiative and the whole plan for everything.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's kind of like a snooze fest to attend. Just right now they're going through all the formalities of this is like Graybeard 101 stuff. You know, legacy models of how to get initiatives activated. I guess from like basically it's just not. I'm not used to these kind of formalities, right? It's just, it moves too damn slow. It's too damn structured. It's just not my kind of jam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're basically organizing to get organized.
Yeah. This sounds like you should be attending these calls. Like, you know what? I agree with this new policy that's being proposed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
but I'm not knocking it. I bet you like, this is the way to do it, right? This is how like you come up with concrete, real standard proposals, right? Because, they spent the time to get the organization in place ahead of time, right?
But you know what? I think you brought up a good point during our conversation, our video that was posted today, that it may not make sense for standards to be developed by people or projects who are barely in the metaverse, if at all. And Decentraland, that's why Decentraland, they're kind of like, throwing their elbows out a little bit. It's like, we've been here, we've been around, and, we need to contribute to this, standards implications.
Yeah, it is interesting. I don't know why we didn't anticipate Decentraland to, put forth a much more, grandiose stance into this whole standards discussion. It just never crossed my mind that they would. It's probably based on like, historical, Decentraland, precedent. Decentraland Foundation largely has been operating under like an environment of non-threat for like the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and unfortunately, that's not like the type of environment that inspires like action and progression and, rapid execution to like, alleviate these threats. So now that the environment has changed, there are multitudes of threats from all different directions. And I think they finally see that.
Yeah.
We should all see that. whether or not we should, determine these as threats or just, it's just different interpretations of what the metaverse should be, whatever. Like it's not a one man show anymore. It's an orchestra now. So
That's right. That's right.
it's time for them to like be more, a little more tougher, puff out their chest a little bit. Like you said, this is, we've been doing this for many years now.
Yeah.
Like, so we are the ones who should be leading this discussion, right? Like these should be the standards. If you're building a metaverse, you should be leveraging what we've already like set forth. Right. So,
yeah. And part of the conversation, and I think it's worth having, is trying to define the metaverse. And I feel, when we talk about this, I really feel like I go back to like 2020 when we were talking about how the SDK is really important and how Decentraland should focus on it. Yeah. That same conviction that I had then, I have now about the definition of the metaverse. And I don't want to say I have the definition, but I do want to say that it needs to include the functions of owning digital assets and the implications of economic viability for humanity. If there's if someone's calling themselves a metaverse and they don't have this implemented in their blockchain and like ownable digital assets, things like that, it's not a metaverse. It's just another game.
Yeah.
And
I think that's where like these legacy Web2, tech giants, they get their confidence from, is because they've laid out the gamosphere for us over the last several decades,
that's right.
So
that's right.
They're coming into the discussion with like, the biggest of sticks, dude, it's like, we're like, we built the virtual world. So of course we're going to make these standards. Right. But you're right. I don't think as experienced and as, technically godlike they are and resource financially heavy, they got it all right. Like they are, from what I'm seeing, missing one crucial component. Yeah, that is the economic side, and I think you can only get that from Web3.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. No matter how many times you can purchase a skin with your credit card, it's not the same thing as owning it as a digital asset NFT.
Yeah, and then allowing the community kind of like spin off different value, from within that, like, which is in the traditional Web2 world, that is a big no-no. You never let the community have that kind of control and power over like their game ecosystems.
Yeah, and it changes business models. Like, imagine you're Blizzard and you start adopting the Web3 standards, and you come up with all these assets, and maybe you won't make $1 billion on like the release date, but you'll make multiple billions because people are trading the assets over the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And so maybe that, I think that's potentially more profitable, more fruitful for projects to do it that way than, stick to Web 2. But I guess it depends. It really depends. And then not only that, like if Blizzard designs, this ecosystem of NFTs, it has to be to some degree sort of sustainable, because if there are only 10 rare weapons, those 10 people who have those rare weapons are probably going to destroy the PvP arena, right? So there's implications. Yeah,
but it's also the case without like any real world value attached. Any rare item in a game usually has like increased,
it's OP.
game performance, but nonetheless, like it's never like game breaking. I don't think, if I'm trying to recall, but yeah, that's up to the game developer to make like a good game, right? To like stabilize everything.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not. I guess it's not really about the game, but there could be components that are economically breaking, and so that's what I'm thinking about.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. So that just because the game developer or game studios in the Web3 space are gonna have like a whole new branch.
Exactly, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, it's like an economic. We need economists.
Well, yeah, but luckily, it's gonna involve the community too, like economic forum type deals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because hopefully these game ecosystems in Web3, they become so massive. It's like it can't be agreed. It can't just be one entity determining all these different, such critical financial matters, because there's so much people
Yeah,
depending on it in
for
these
sure.
Web3 ecosystems, right? This is not like fun points. This is like life points
Yeah.
that you're earning, so like these are
Yeah.
serious matters that just can't be taken frivolously. Like it requires like politics in a way, like
Dude,
real governance.
dude, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was gonna ask you, I man, a lot of what happens in in like a real metaverse where we're talking about economics and sustainability, there's elements of politics in this that make things not fun. And
Oh, of course not. And that's my biggest like narrative that I need. Hopefully, one day is in the minds of everybody in this metaverse space is like remove fun from like your vocabulary, as if
yeah,
like that's all that matters, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
All these people proposing how to build sustainable play to earn, whatever the fuck. They keep saying the same thing. It's like it's got to be fun. Oh, it's not just about fun, dude. A lot of life isn't fun, right? To build sustainable things isn't like everything has to be fun.
yeah,
Fun is the main motivator to like building sustainable,
yeah,
incentive models. But like the thing leading up to fun is like usually very not fun.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
antithesis of that.
But I wonder if that's going to be like a negative aspect to the metaverse, is that there's going to be a lot less fun. And,
No,
and
it's going to be super fun, but it's going to be insanely fun. But
it's a
more
different
fun
kind of
than you've ever
fun.
had in your life. I'm telling you. But there's going to be a sacrifice, and there's going to be a class of individuals who are not enjoying as much fun as the others. It's just I don't know, dude.
Yeah, yeah, I can
I'm
see
telling
that.
you how economics works. If you want sustainable economic models, some people are going to be having a lot less fun than others. So it is the way it is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I totally agree. I feel like this is such an important point that all of us on the call here probably understand significantly better than Blizzard or these like huge companies that are thinking about getting into kind of like the NFT space and the metaverse and all that. But you're right. There's going to be a lot of activity that's not going to be fun, but it's absolutely necessary for sustainability.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's all fun and like fulfillment and just personal journey. Again, it's all about that hierarchy, dude. Like getting to that self-actualization stage of your life. Like
Right.
if for a lot of people, it's tough to get past like the physical barriers of like real life to even like move themselves up a single peg on that hierarchy in the real world, just because it's a very established order that we all have to deal with in life, and it's not so easy for us to scale up our own personal lives. So the metaverse introduces a whole new pathway of people to get up that hierarchy, right? So,
dude,
I mean,
that's
a whole world of potential.
Yeah, such a good way of putting it. You're absolutely right, because there's so many people that are disenfranchised, but they have a cell phone, they have internet access. Their local existence, their local community probably doesn't have the resources to sustain, millions of people, thousands of people, whatever it is locally. And they can jump into this digital nation. All of a sudden, they have the capability to earn and make their way up that hierarchy of need.
Yeah, and then right now it's kind of hard to visualize, but once more Web3 is matured, not just metaverse wide, but like identity standards, decentralized financial standards, all the monetary systems that are being, created now, all the different DAOs and governing societies that are going to emerge. Like once all that stuff's mature and like in existence, and now we all have clear pathways of like, damn, this is the shit I want to be striving for, right?
Yeah.
That's whenever, like participation just becomes like,
wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's too damn, the ecosystem at large is just too damn valuable not to be a part of, right? And then through that, you're in, that is fun, right? In life, like every little cool thing you do in your personal life, like that you quantify as fun, it adds to your identity, right? Like now it becomes a memory. It's like, damn, that was cool. Yeah, you talk to your friends in the future. Damn, remember that cool stuff we did back, in whatever in high school.
Yeah,
those things you identify with. Like that's how you build your personal identity. Imagine the metaverse, all the cool and fun shit you're gonna experience, like with your friends. Like it's gonna make that memory bucket even more intense. I'm telling you too, as a experienced metaverse user in World of Warcraft, some of my fondest memories was times I spent playing that game.
Yeah. But
Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of the same friends I had back then, so I can't like kick it with them. And be like, hey man, remember that raid where like we wiped because like some dude I don't know had to go like take a massive shit or something, and like he just like missed his pool, and then like stuff like this.
yeah,
Like it's hilarious things that happen, right? It's just great memories. And yeah,
yeah, that's
just because it's a virtual world doesn't mean you're not gonna have those same good moments.
yeah, for sure, for sure. No, I totally agree. You know what's interesting is that there's a lot of these pieces are just missing in the thinking of what's going on in that meta standards forum. We got to come up with some way where we can contribute where it doesn't really take away from like our day-to-day activities as they're pretty full. But I think the best way to do it is to talk about like we're talking about it right now, Iman, and then just like link it over there in some sort of forum post or something.
Agreed.
And then follow up with like people's thoughts, and I don't know, maybe have like a call with some of these folks.
Yeah. Agreed.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of what we do is we think about how to fit things into our workflow and like processes. We can't do like one-off custom stuff all the time just because it takes too much mental effort. And we got to be able to fit things into the workflow. So this would be one of them. And hopefully we can set it up to where we're talking about contributing to this forum on a weekly basis via a video format. But yeah. So anyway, we're about 40 minutes in. Let's do the Pope giveaway. And I got the password for you guys. And let me just type in here. All right, so same process as before. You're going to send a direct message to the MetaZone bot, and the password is "Live the future now."
Wow, dude, that wasn't very random, dude. We did it like the exact same time we always do it.
Oh, wasn't? Oh, yeah. I guess we usually do it 30 minutes in, but yeah, we're 41 minutes in.
Okay, a little 10-minute breather.
Yeah.
Very nice. Is that spelled right?
Oh no, it's not spelled right.
Oh wow, dude. Future. Future. Nah, dude, it's not you. It's future. Great word.
Hold on, let me verify. I didn't copy and paste it. I just rewrote it. It is, yeah. That's the right one. The last one I posted.
Good call, Alan. Good call.
But you know what? That's the cartel. They're gonna get confused. They're like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, dude. With the deuce.
Yeah. It's like, well, Trey got it. Trey got the Pope.
Right on. Damn. I would like to see some of y'all's Pope collections if you have any. Like,
dude, Trey's got a crazy one. Trey, you wanna? I don't know if you wanna link yours, but I saw Trey's, and it's like every single one is like spinning. It's pretty awesome.
That would be cool, dude. A GIF of that would be sick.
Yeah, man. It's very, very awesome. Quite the dedication too, because hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can click on this.
Oh, I see it. Dang. That is cool.
Yeah, here we go. Damn. It's putting a strain on Pope servers here. Dude, this is beautiful, man. This needs to go like, man, I wish I can like put this behind my wall or something. Like, this is badass.
Dude, we totally should do that in the studio.
Yeah, man. Like, you can see the progression. Like, here's Iman's popes.
What do you think, TJ? We have like my popes. Oh yeah, I forgot, dude. Holy garbage, dude. That's pretty bad. They're ugly and like static and like not interesting, but there's a charm to them, right?
Well, yeah, for sure.
In context of all the what it looks like these days, like it looks like literally like you're collecting relics of the past.
Yeah,
or like you're there during the ancient days.
Yeah. And then
Trey says he's missing two. Could he like trade them? These are tradable, right? These aren't soul bound, so
they're tradable. but he's only got one to trade unless he's got multiple accounts with like these.
Yeah.
Someone would just have to send it to him, basically.
Yeah, but what if you like gave them, money?
Oh, okay, yeah, good point. Yeah, I'm thinking these are pogs, like.
Yeah. But like, if you really wanted the full set, like the full collection, for whatever reason, we haven't figured out a good incentive to do so.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll unlock some sort of like a Digimerch in the future. That'd be cool. But yeah, like you could do that, right? You could purchase POAPs from others.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think they're man, if you go to the Pope website, there's like 6 or 7 different marketplaces for these things. It's kind of weird.
For real?
Yeah. And it's all linked within like this Pope website. It's very weird.
Right on. Very cool. All right. Well, good job, guys. I know someone with over 2,000 POAPs. I think Dead Polaroid, are you here, dude? I think you have like an ass load of these things, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, man.
Or maybe you're the one with kind of wearables. But yeah, I've seen somebody who has like an absurd amount of POAPs. I think it's when we were doing POAPs for Ethermon. I looked at somebody's, it might have been Dead Polaroid's like catalog, and I was like blown away. I was like, the fuck? How do you do this? How do you achieve such presence?
Yeah, I don't know. There's probably a Discord that like shares all the passwords or whatever back in the day.
Yeah, I do. It was Polaroid.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think there's ways where you can kind of like mine all this stuff, at least in prior like eras. I don't know if you can do that these days anymore, but yeah. I'm wondering when, if ever, this is going to be valuable. Like,
yeah, I was about to ask for all you POAP hunters in here, like, if you can, like, what's like the best like leveraging you've seen so far, as far as like a project, a community, whatever, as far as like returning value to the POAP owners or collectors, You guys are contributing value with your presence, right? That's why like this protocol exists. It's like the value is being received from your presence, your contribution to these, these calls, these community events, and then it's at some point it needs to be returned to you guys. I'm wondering what you've seen as far as what other projects you're doing. I mean, I already have tons of potential governance implications in mind, but like you're saying, there's a cartel problem that kind of like makes that an issue.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, if anyone can share a story about their popes like converting into some cash or something, or converting into an NFT, like I'd like to.
Oh yeah, that would be a really good story. Value is as broad as it can be. It doesn't have to be cash, but
or anything.
But yeah, hell yeah, we're getting cash for POAPs, dude. I want to know how.
Popes are not as popular now as they were a year ago, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is because the Pope team is cracking down on the cartel. So I think that's contributed to it. It makes it harder. And I think Pope will eventually leverage soulbound tokens, so all of these would be non-tradable. Maybe these will remain tradable, but the new ones won't be.
Yeah.
Which increases. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just saying Grind Junkies explained it perfectly how I interpret POAPs. Like, it is just additions to that memory bank of like this on-chain memory bank. It's actually like visible to others, which is cool.
Yeah.
Right. But so that's not like monetary value, but it's sentimental value, I guess. And shit, maybe there's a way we could still unlock real value for that. Well,
I mean, I think there is. There's like there's clout. Say for example, all these are soulbound tokens. You can't trade them. They're definitely like these memory tokens. But then you check somebody's ETH address and you see like they have all these like Rovi and Metazone popes. They're like, oh man, this is like a real community member. It's like, let's allow this guy in our community and maybe get some sort of benefit.
That's such a good point. Yeah, let's say somebody's like running for the B1 Crew's future Senate.
Yeah, right.
Right, and part of his Senate race is like, dude, I want to be in charge of some of these decisions. Is like, well, what's your qualifications, Senator X?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, just check out all my POAPs, dude. And then you see he's only had like 2.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't even know what's going on here.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, how are you supposed to be part of the governance decision making? You never even attended a call. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
you're right. That's tremendously valuable.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Man, I had a lost the train of thought here.
Sorry, dude.
Alan Howick says, don't you have to send the popes from the DAI chain to ETH or Matic chain so you can sell them? I feel like you can keep them on the XDAI chain, but I really haven't looked into it. Man, it's been like almost 2 years since we looked at XDAI. Remember that, iMan? That failed prediction there. Let's see. B1's not for profit. Well, that's interesting. I like to hear more on that, Neb.
B1 is a not for profit. Interesting.
Dead Ploroy, live the future now. Still trying to claim this. Yeah, is that it? Yeah.
No, it's not, dude. That's the wrong one.
Live the future. Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah.
Yeah, let's live the future. No, that's the wrong one.
Hold on, let me reply here.
Oh, Lord. Okay, I think we got the POAPs. Yeah, we had a nice little talk about POAPs. We always have to revisit the POAP discussion. And then, yeah, it always leads us into like soulbound discussions, and there's a lot to talk about. I'm super glad we're getting like the whole podcast stuff figured out. I can't wait till the sore throw's gone so we could really get at it. But
yeah, man, we're gonna go ham on. There's so much stuff to talk about, and now with the few additions to the team, it can really allow us to focus on more content rather than like editing the content we just recorded.
Yeah, the thing I'm most excited about is just refamiliarizing ourselves with like what's happening across all sectors.
That brings up a good point. So the strategy that we're taking, so you guys know, is obviously we're going to stay focused on the metaverse, but we're trying to include more community members of different industries into ours. And so the way that we do that is we're going to be interviewing a lot of people from different industries, DeFi, other NFT projects, so forth. And then really exposing what we're doing to other community members via this method of interviewing. And sort of like the same ideas like we had when we interviewed Andreas Antonopoulos. Like, we need to just reach out to like prominent speakers in the crypto space and then just talk to them about everything. And that's how I think we're going to be bringing more people into the metaverse and more outside of the box thinkers.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, it's definitely would be good insight just to know, even if they're just developing like, a DeFi protocol or something, see what's in their heads as far as like how, if they've even thought of like integration into the virtual space, like these same protocols are developing. Probably not. I think at the moment it's just figuring out like the base infrastructure of all these different ecosystems and like onboarding financial contribution from, LPs and stuff like that. I think it's way easier to do that outside of the metaverse for now.
Sure. Yeah.
In as minimum friction environment as possible. Yeah. Building these like web 2 based protocols is probably the ideal way to start all this stuff. But once they become, mature and like, sustainable, for sure, metaverse is the ultimate like end game pathway for them, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. I got a comment here from 13. What does that say? Bulanos. Start with DG. So a little
definitely reach out.
Yeah, a little story with about DG. So, man, I think it was, I don't know, between 2019 and 2020, we had these roundtable calls in Decentraland, and it was a crew that included Miles. And so Miles was working obviously on his casino at the time, and we were starting MetaZone, and so we had lots of discussions with Miles then, and so now I know he's super busy. He's like attending all these conferences and like speaking events and all that. So it might be tough to get Miles on the call, but I think we should try. We have lots of questions for Miles. I communicate with him on Discord every now and then, but yeah, we're gonna try to get Miles involved. Get an idea where his head is at, like, sticking with Decentraland. And definitely, guys, I can't recommend this last video that was posted on our channel on the Block Runner. To get an idea where Decentraland is headed, they're going in the right direction with this update,
Yeah.
and it's all like very good. Like this is exactly what they should have done, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, almost. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna do our best to try to get everybody like on a call.
Hmm. Yeah, it was definitely reinvigorating to see this update from Decentraland. It's like a total pivot in like tone and like prioritizing initiatives. Like
Yeah.
I want to see that from other ecosystems as well, just because I'm not paying as much attention as we are to Decentraland, obviously. But yeah, it'd be good to see like what's Badger DAO been up to. What's
Yeah, exactly.
how is the year in finance ecosystem
Yeah.
going along without Andre's contributions? I don't even know if he's come back or not. Like what's going on in the DeFi space in
Yeah.
general, right? Like what happened to the synthetic assets? Are they still getting cracked down on the SEC, or are they like free to roam?
Right.
Can we create these synthetic ecosystems into infinity and like create the biggest bubble of all time? Like, are we allowed? Like, these questions are still unknown.
No, I totally agree. I'm excited. As a matter of fact, there's somebody in our YouTube channel that keeps asking us for a Moonbeam update. So
Yeah, that too.
we got to look into
Polkadot. Polkadot. Yeah.
So I've spoken to a few people who are close to Polkadot recently, and they're very bullish on Polkadot, obviously. But I sense some hesitation because the barrier to entry into the Polkadot ecosystem is so high that it's kind of hard for everyone to like just get on board with interconnected blockchains, right? So it makes sense. All right, so I'm setting up the giveaway here in a few seconds. Last 3. Okay. All right. All right. Check out the giveaway channel here. Interact with the bot, and you'll have a chance to win one of 4 NFTs. The first being the Live the Future Now meta. That's the first one. The last 3 are going to get some wearables. So definitely hit the bot there, and in 5 minutes, somebody will win a couple of NFTs.
All right, cool. Yeah, shout out to Live the Future for your contributions. I already have 4 metas to your verse. I think that's on the high end for most verses at the moment. So keep building, guys. We need that constant flow of metas coming in. Like I said, there's a lot of competing ecosystems emerging, which isn't like a bad thing. That's a good thing. Like we're talking about how competition got Decentraland's, panties on fire.
Yeah.
To kind of like, gear themselves up to, figuring out what's going to be the most optimal direction in order to, compete and, build our network effect for the forever future of the metaverse. So same thing. We're seeing more NFT marketplaces emerge that are focused on metaverse content deployment. I mean, this is nothing new to us. We've been around since 2019 doing this stuff. So
yeah. So
it's good to see competition.
Yeah. One update is, let me know if you guys have access to OnCyber. We do need to do a couple of our own like testing, but if you have OnCyber, there's some metas that you can deploy into OnCyber that should work. So OnCyber only has the capability of deploying 3D models, so that's about it. So you could at least showcase some of your buildings in OnCyber, some other NFTs that we have enabled. But if you guys could help us test that would be great. Let me know what you kind of discover there. And so yeah, that's one thing that I wanted to mention. DeFi guy, what's going on, man? So with Parathreads, will it be possible to connect to Polkadot without winning a slot? Oh, that's true. Yeah. With
so have all the slots been filled? I think there was 100, right? For Polkadot, what are they called? Parachains?
Yeah, parachains.
I'm assuming if Parathreads are starting to merge, that means all the 100 slots have been filled. Or yeah, dude, we need to get back over there, see what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
OnCyber and Hyperfire are incredible. Yeah, I think they're pretty freaking cool as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, we've explored both of those, dude, and it's definitely fun times. And there's a few others that we've explored, very, very small name metaverses, or I don't even know if they're really spatial is one, right? I think it's
Spatial is one.
cool.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I think they're more focused on like a much more like high fidelity type experience and very like enclosed space, hyper focused to, I don't know, individual experiences, not like a broader overall experience. But anyways, nonetheless, again, I'm getting these same like butterflies in my tummy that I got from like early day NFT. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just seeing a lot of experimentation, a lot of like just new weird things popping up. Metaverse, which, that's to me is always a good sign. It's just experimentation. Somebody's going to crack that Da Vinci code that just brings the masses in at some point, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, totally agree. So DeFi guy, he's saying that I'm talking with a guy named Butter. He's creating a connection with A-Star and Decentraland. Yeah, A-Star is, I think it competes with Moonbeam, I believe. But yeah, you're right. You don't need a slot. You could just integrate with one of these platforms like A-Star, and all of a sudden you have like a Parathread. And so I totally agree with that. I think that probably will be the method for most projects to integrate into Polkadot. All right, here in a few minutes we are going to get some winners, and then yeah, we should be back on Thursdays 10 p.m. UTC to go over Robies. Definitely join us for the Roby call. We're going to show a new glitch, I believe. And the new glitch, again, is very cool.
Yeah,
I don't know. Did you see it, man?
Just to remind everybody, these are perfect glitches on display, not finalized,
yeah,
glitches that have been run through MetaGen. That's what I'm looking forward to. Once we get them all the perfect ones out there.
Yeah.
It's like the first actual like generated meta-generated glitch.
Yeah.
There you go. That's gonna be awesome.
That's true, man. Whoever gets a perfect glitch is gonna be very lucky.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
Glitch hype. All right, TJ's hype. That's good. What else, dude? As far as updates, like Will was saying, adding on, we've already added on one features of the verse section. There's supporters and stuff like that, and which I think we've talked about it in the past too. Like these verses can be considered like I think at one point there'll be like micro DAOs into the moving into the future.
Yeah,
right?
I think so too.
But that requires more tools, more features, and all that stuff. So
yeah, can you imagine providing micro DAO
sounds like
functionality? Imagine providing micro DAO functionality as like part of the platform. It's gonna be insane.
I mean, it might have to happen, dude. If not us, somebody's got to do it. Somebody has to provide these tools, and it might not have to be us. Yeah, maybe the metaverse is just such an expanse ecosystem. Like there's room for all these different third-party providers, right, or purveyors.
DeFi guy is saying, I'm seeing a lot of people talking about MetaView. Yeah, they're fantastic. Yeah, it's going to be interesting implementing their technology and getting advertisement going, because I think that's a clear use case for the metaverse, and yeah, it's going to be really exciting. So we got our winners. We got Ben J, and then we got B Crypto and Chris O and Fred Army. So Ben won the meta, and then the last three won wearables. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, I can barely hear the claps.
Oh, really? How about now? You can't hear that, dude?
I can't hear it. Can you guys hear the claps?
What?
Have we been like clapping, like and not actually clapping this whole time?
Yeah,
you guys can hear it?
Yeah, they can.
Okay, maybe it's just me then.
Dang, that's weird. All right, guys, that's been the MetaZone call. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our metaverse discussion. Appreciate you guys joining as always. We're going to be back next Monday at 10 p.m. UTC to go over more MetaZone updates. I would guess things are going to get a little bit more organized, a little bit more interesting here in the next couple of months. And definitely stick around. We're going to have a lot more giveaways. Join us on Thursdays at 10 p.m. UTC to go over Robies, of course. And thank you, iMan, for joining. I know you're sick. Hanging in there, man. And hopefully we'll get you back here on Thursdays for the call. So that is it, guys. We will catch you next Thursday, 10 p.m. UTC.
Peace out, everybody. Yeah, don't have fun. No fun zone. No
Yeah.
fun allowed.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Never leave the metaverse. We gotta say
And don't
that,
have-
dude. All right, guys.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan. Peace out.
Bye bye.